what do you guys like that?
Well, I know what Jake fucking wants.
What?
Oh, Heaven Hill.
No, we already talked about that.
Here's Jake.
Podcast about bourbon and the ones who drink it. This is Bourbon Matters. Welcome to Bourbon Matters. I'm Jake.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Gold Eagle Jake.
Like a wrong time to take a drink. Jesus.
You're the one that wanted to get started, too.
I wasn't expecting it. I'm not going to finish that sentence because it's going to get clipped and misconstrued.
It's a nice pour, too.
Yeah.
It's a very healthy pour.
So we've got some news around the Pernod and Brown-Forman deal, and then we're thinking about doing another barrel pick this year for the podcast, and we want to throw some ideas around and get some listener input on where you guys would like to see us do a pick from. But first, let's talk about the Brown-Forman deal. So what's the latest on this?
Or lack thereof. So last night, an article came out from Reuters that Pernod Ricard and Brown-Forman decided that they are no longer going to be discussing a merger or technically an acquisition of Brown-Forman by Pernod Ricard. That came out last night. There hasn't been a ton of last night as a recording. It came out Tuesday night. We're recording this on a Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Since that came out, Brown-Forman stock price has fallen about 10%. It's down below $23. Pernod Ricard's fallen a little bit too, but they're basically back at the level they were at before the buyout conversations were happening. There's been no update on Sazerac at all, but it sounds like the Pernod Ricard Brown-Forman is completely dead at this point, which I'm not upset about.
Mutually,
yes.
Upon,
and it didn't make sense, but none of this makes sense because if you remember last episode, we talked about how they liked Pernod Ricard's, what do they call it? They're like...
They said they were,
They thought they were more prestigious than Sazerac.
Yeah. I mean, the article you sent us, I gathered that is it the Brown family that owns Brown-Forman? I think.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Whatever. The family that owns Brown-Forman really wanted to keep some stock after the deal was over, so that they retain some kind of control over their brands, was kind of what I gathered from the article, which in the case of the Sazerac offer, they would have absolutely nothing to do with it anymore.
And that was after Sazerac refined their offer, though. And Pernod Ricard, it wasn't disclosed, but it was thought to be around, or leaked to be around, 80% of their buyout was in stock.
Yeah.
So they would have had a lot. They probably would have had a decent amount of say yet. So. Yeah.
So it sounds like they. It's like, if I had to guess, what happened was, Pernod offered a really nice stock, offer to them that seemed enticing, so they could still kind of keep their hands, in the Brown-Forman portfolio and, help, manage that a little bit. And then Sazerac, flew in out of nowhere. We're like, hey, $15 billion cash.
Straight cash, homie.
Then we talked a little bit last time about what the, because Brown-Forman's a public company, the cash offer is probably the better outcome for the shareholders, but is not the preferred outcome of the majority owners, in the Brown family. So in that case, they just canceled all the talks. That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if anyone now decides to jump in on this, or if it's just going to be Sazerac seeing if Brown-Forman wants to sell everything and just give them cash. I mean, there's not. I don't. I mean, I'm sure there's a ton of people, but I mean, in terms of the alcohol side, Diageo would be a big one that would be able to do it. There's that massive Chinese distributor company that could decide they want to get in the American market and come out of nowhere. But there's not like there's a ton of easy potential people that would be wanting to dip their feet in, especially considering this will probably be the third straight year of declining sales for Brown-Forman.
Yeah, I don't know. My something tells me that Brown-Forman was just kind of maybe testing the waters on what they could be worth here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see Diageo stepping in. Their portfolio is very diversified. They have major brands in every country, in every category. I don't see this Chinese company stepping in because they're crushing it for a reason, because they seem to dominate spirits in other parts of the world, in types of spirits that we don't drink. So they don't really probably understand this market as much as these other companies do. And maybe Brown-Forman just kind of realized, okay, we should maybe hold on to what we have. I think when you think volume for whiskey, what do you think of? You think of Jack Daniels, Jack and Coke. Mm-hmm. Like they're pumping through so much without really having to do much work. And now they have these emerging brands. Woodford is kind of looked at as your, bottle that you have in more upscale homes. Maybe not your bourbon connoisseur, but like most people that have just one or two bottles of bourbon at their house have Woodford. Mm-hmm. Old Forester is definitely an emerging brand that appeals to everybody in the whiskey game. People who like to mix, people who are connoisseurs, and they also have a good thing going with their rapid aging and their heat cycling in their rick houses. They still, I think, have so much untapped potential with the Old Forester brand. So I don't know. Maybe Sazerac stepping in quickly and offering a cash offer made them kind of hold their horses a little bit and realize, hey, we got something good here. Let's not just get rid of it just yet, especially because you mentioned they don't want to give up most of their shares.
Control.
Yeah,
I would say control.
Control. So they're realizing there's a bit more long-term potential here. Yes, they might be down a little bit right now. But to me, the way the Brown-Forman brands are going, there's still a ton of room for growth and long-term potential. Maybe not, shooting up to the moon right away, but they seem to be set up very well to have a steady long-term growth.
Yeah, well, they've made such good moves in the last few years too. Like they expanded the Old Forester offerings, put some new SKUs out that are pretty well liked, I'd say, by a lot of people. You have this absolute renaissance with Jack coming out with the Bondeds and the Coy Hills and the 10 and 12 year and
Heritage
all that
releases.
Stuff.
Yeah, the 10 and 12 year, completely untapped potential. There's none of it out there. So many people are looking for it. We get one or two bottles of each of those every time they come out. And a distillery that big, all they have to do is hunker down for a little bit, and they could easily probably have enough stock to release much more of their 10, 12, 14 year stuff.
Yeah. They could even do age stated, just regular releases too. I'm sure they have enough stock to put a regular 8-year release out there on the shelf
and
all the time.
Look at King of Kentucky too, which
Yeah.
is a new brand from them. They're selling 12-year small batch bourbon for $300 a bottle, and it's selling out instantly everywhere. And people are, paying secondary and looking for this stuff.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, they're definitely like you talked about the SKUs and stuff we're seeing. There's a lot of stuff we like, but it's still not equating to more sales. And I tried to look it up real quick. I couldn't find it. I remember I did a report back at Whiskey Acres about a bunch of stuff. Um, and of the Brown Foreman portfolio, the only one that was growing, and this was 2 or 3 years ago, the only one that was really growing was either like Jack Honey or Jack Apple or something like that. It was like
Yeah,
the
but
only one that was seeing increased sales.
these premium SKUs that are selling out instantly right now are so minuscule on the scale compared to like regular Jack Daniel's Black Label and their flavored stuff. Like they're still selling so much more, probably 100 times more of their flavored stuff, and probably thousands and thousands times more of the regular Black Label than they are. So these like King of Kentucky and the 10, 12, 14 year, like that's not putting a single little dent in their sales volume. Now,
Yeah.
what I'm
But I
saying is
bet those
if
are
they
super
can,
profitable though.
they're super profitable. So if they can, and we know they can with how big they are, if they can get these products to where you can walk into a store and find the 10, 12, and 14 year on the shelf, that's a huge boost in sales volume and profit. And we know
Yeah.
they can. We know they can. It's just a little bit of time that needs to go by, and save up some of that older stock, prep for some bigger releases. Like there's no reason why they can't get those products out there to more people.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another option out there too, and maybe it's just the people. Maybe the Brown family is just a bunch of dicks. Maybe there's like, hey, we want nothing to change, but give us all your money.
Yeah.
That's an option as well too. Maybe they're just wanting their cake and to eat it too, and they're realizing that they can't have both.
But I mean, my guess is probably that they, like you said, Dan, they're seeing third year of declining sales. They're like,
Test the
how
waters.
much, how much longer do we really want to try and ride this out? I'm sure that family has, I mean, how long have they owned Jack Daniels for? Probably like 30 plus years. Like, we had a good run, like let's see what we can do to cash out. But I think Sazerac really threw a wrench into everything. But what's funny from what we talked about last week, you said that like after the news broke of Pernod's offer, their stock skyrocketed, and now they've lost like 10% from that price. So now the Sazerac offer actually looks really good.
Oh, Sazerac, because they offered $32 a share.
Yeah.
Before Pernod
It's what, like
Ricard
20
pulled out
something? Low
publicly,
20s
it was
right
at
now?
$28.40. Now it's at $25.40. So it dropped
Yeah.
$3 a share. If we look back, this is the lowest Brown-Forman has been since March of this year, after their first quarter sales report came out. It came back a little bit and then kind of maintained around $26 a share, then jumped up to over $30 a share when the Pernod Ricard news broke, and now it's back down. So not looking nearly as bad anymore. Maybe Sazerac knew what they were doing. And to be honest, if the Brown family is going to pull away, I still think Sazerac's a great idea for them. I think that would be the ones that would keep their brand
But that's
true to who they are.
That's like getting to monopoly. I know it's not a
Not
monopoly,
even
but
close.
no, but we're getting there. Like those are some of the most desirable brands in whiskey right now.
Yeah.
Who's left?
No, I mean, there's tons of
I know
competition left.
there's yeah, but like nobody's chasing
Beam
down
Suntory.
bullet bottles.
I mean, like,
Nobody's chasing down
Heaven
rabbit
Hill
hole
is
bottles.
Heaven Hill.
Yeah.
Heaven Hill and Beam and Sazerac. I mean, those three would truly dominate.
yeah, but
Yeah.
they already are dominating.
And then
so
who's
it
going to
wouldn't
go
change
after
the
Heaven
landscape
Hill?
that much, I don't think. But
Yeah, who would go? I wonder. The next podcast we talk about
Like,
Pernod
at that
Ricard
point-
offering to buy
At
Heaven
that
Hill.
point, Beam and Sazerac are probably going to start fighting over Heaven Hill.
But I thought Heaven Hill is comparable in terms of like revenue to Beam, aren't they?
I would bet they're
Just
more.
because of the because Heaven Hill owns so many SKUs.
Heaven
Are
Hill
you talking
owns a
just Jim
ton.
Beam or are you talking Beam Suntory?
No,
Beam,
Beam Suntory. Well, it's the whole company as a whole.
Oh.
I mean, Beam Suntory.
Beam
If
Suntory's
we're,
massive.
if we're talking, if
Yeah.
we're talking just American whiskey, then I would bet head to heaven. I mean, this is just me talking without knowing any of these facts. I would bet they're about even, or Heaven Hill might be a little ahead. I don't know.
According to AI, so take this with a grain of salt. Jim Beam currently leads in sales compared to Heaven Hill. Recent data indicates Beam is consolidated its position as America's top-selling whiskey brand, surpassing Jack Daniels in sales. In contrast, Heaven Hill, while a significant player in the whiskey market, does not match the sales volume of Jim Beam.
All right.
Give us data though. Come on, AI.
It doesn't. I'm not AI. I'm not Gemini.
I mean, I believe it. Again, we're talking white label. Jim Beam is their workhorse,
Nationwide.
just like
Oh,
Jack
yeah.
Daniels
Worldwide, yeah.
black label, and you can get a handle of Jim Beam white label for $25. I mean, that's
Yeah.
It takes me back to college.
whiskey cokes in all of your dive bars.
Oh, our college drink was a Red Bull with 2 shots of Jim, and my buddy called him an instigator. If you want to know why he called it an instigator, drink a Red Bull with 2 shots of Jim in it. Tell me how you feel. All right, exciting news. Do we want to switch? Gold Eagle.
Yeah, the only other thing I'll throw in on the Brown-Forman thing is I don't know what the rules are, but it seems like they still have to make some kind of decision on the Sazerac offer, right?
They don't really have to. I mean, it can just sit there in limbo.
Well, they're public, so I feel like they have to address the cash offer, So I don't know. We'll see what comes of that. Maybe they don't have to, but somebody who knows more about
Large scale acquisitions. Of
fiduciary
public
duties of publicly traded companies.
Yeah.
Let us know.
I have some experience in the buyouts of small multi-million-dollar companies, but that's about it.
Yeah.
It's
I
nowhere
don't know.
nowhere near the volume of these, and they were private companies. So
Somebody throws $15 billion in cash on the table. I feel like something needs to happen for a publicly traded company to turn that down.
Yeah,
especially because it's significantly higher than their current stock price. But
that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially now. Okay, so one of the great things about our podcast is we have Gold Eagle Jake on the podcast, which leads us to do more exciting things that we normally can do. If you're just first time listening, Gold Eagle Jake owns the Gold Eagle Liquors, co-owner of Gold Eagle Liquors in Libertyville. He brings that to the podcast. I bring distilling knowledge and insight to the podcast, and then Jake R's here. But one thing that we have the ability to do with, hey, guess what? He actually remembered to hit the record button this time. He did his job.
Hey, I put the QR code in the last episode, and you said I wasn't going to do it. So
you act like I paid attention and watched it. I did not. Now I got to look and see how shitty of a job you did. Now I have homework.
No, you'll like it.
Okay, I'll look it up. I'll pull the YouTube after this and see.
He's the backbone.
Maybe Kyle, look that up, clip that, and put that as a post of Jake actually doing some work. Regardless, because of Gold Eagle Jake, we've done some things that were fun. So a long time ago, before he was on the podcast, he brought over some samples of a Knob Creek barrel pick he was going to do, and we did that on the podcast a long ass time ago. And then the other year, before I moved away, we sat down with founder Kevin from Beautiful and the Damned, and at his house decided to do an impromptu barrel pick.
Peer pressured him into allowing us to do a
kind of strong on him into selling a barrel to us that night when we were drunk and smoking his $80 a stick cigars or whatever those were.
Yeah. Those are really
thank you, founder Kevin. We are deciding that we are going to do another barrel pick since we have this power with Gold Eagle Jake. So we kind of talked about it, Jake. I'll kind of let you discuss kind of what we're looking at doing and kind of some of the options. And we'll kind of talk about it more. We'll talk about some of the reasons why we're looking at some distilleries, but go ahead and what's the plan here?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a super fun thing to do, and it gets the listeners involved as well. And we were kind of brainstorming before this on what distilleries we should be looking at. We think there's going to be a lot more options available when it comes to barrel picks in the future. So we don't want to necessarily jump the gun and just gravitate towards something. But I always think barrel pick should come from the heart and something you're really passionate about and want. So we tried to think and brainstorm of brands that we naturally gravitate towards and talk about on this podcast. And also brands that would give us a good experience going to do the barrel pick, something where we could maybe record and get some content going while we were doing the pick. And I think we came up with a pretty solid, 4 distilleries to work off of, and wanted to get the listeners involved in kind of voting and giving us feedback and maybe even offering up new suggestions. And don't suggest Weller or Blanton's or any of those bottles as a barrel pick. We want to do something unique. We want to do something that we're all passionate about, and we want to kind of like what we did with Beautiful and the Damned, bring you guys something that you might not have been able to found or might not have looked at if it wasn't for the barrel pick. So I don't know, Dan, do you want to go over the 4, or Jake, that we settled on since you wrote the list down?
Yeah, Dan wrote them down, so go ahead.
Well, I'm not gonna say that you're proving my point that you don't do anything, but that just kind of proved my point that you don't.
I'm gonna throw in some color commentary here.
One is a given. There's one, if you're a listener from day one, this should be an easy giveaway.
Yeah, and we'll talk about. I mean, we also want to do a barrel pick that we know is going to sell through fairly well. We don't want to do some obscure thing that a few people want and it's going to stick Jake with cases upon cases of unsold whiskey. So,
so sadly, it's not going to be a rye.
It's not going to be a rye. I can guarantee you that. So, couple options. We have 4 options we're talking about. The first one I'll talk about, and we'll put some polls up. Kyle, you'll be putting polls up. Thanks for doing that. Of what are these 4, or again, you're allowed to comment. We'll change, but basically, this podcast comes out right at the start of May. We're going to run this through the end of May, and we'll have our results at the end of May. We'll talk about it then. First one would be a Green River barrel pick. Green River is kind of one we all like to talk about, but never really. I mean, it's kind of one of the smaller distilleries, I guess I would say, that we talk about.
I don't know if I would.
They're not really small, but
super small, but
a very focused portfolio, I would say.
Yeah, very focused portfolio. Like, great price point, all their whiskey stands up to their respected prices. And we had Karen on the podcast. That was a super fun episode.
Yeah.
And I think for all of us can agree the stuff we've tried from them, there really hasn't been anything bad. And the barrel picks seem to be very, very good.
Yeah.
And even just their foolproof stuff they started putting out is I think I put Green River Bourbon foolproof as my as one of my top 5 whiskeys last year.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Plus comes in a really cool friggin' bottle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a brand that we know is going to, 1, be good, 2, something that we all like anyways, 3, just it's a no-brainer for us. I don't know where I was going there. I lost it. I've got a ways through that stiff pour already.
I mean, for $50 for a barrel proof single barrel,
we know it'll move quick.
We know it'll move, and more importantly, $60. The barrel picks are a little bit higher than their full proof releases, but we know the quality is there. And like I said, Karen is awesome. Their national brand ambassador. We had her on the podcast. Go back and listen to that episode if you have not listened to that one. That was probably about 6 months ago. But yeah, great stuff coming out of Green River.
And we consistently talk about how they're the number one alternative to Buffalo Trace stuff that you can find.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, definitely on par with the quality and flavor profile and everything for a very reasonable price point. So yeah, we like to support them.
So Green River will be one of the 4 voting options that we'll have. Again, feel free to write stuff in, and we will consider it. If we like something, we'll throw it in a poll as well. Number 2, someone that was recently on the podcast, Barrel Craft Spirits Single Barrel. So, Jake, you know more about what they're doing with single barrels than the rest of us, since you got the industry knowledge. I mean, we know Barrel Craft is almost all barrel proof stuff. What's going on with their single barrel program and things that you can let us know on that?
Yeah, so they kind of stopped offering single barrels for a little while, but now they're back at it, and they actually have a lower price point on all of their barrels. And we've talked about this on the episode with them, but they scaled back a ton, so they're not doing as much variety. But compared to other single barrel picks, they're still offering more variety. This is something where we could do kind of like a custom project, or try a couple things finished, try a couple things unfinished, try Kentucky bourbon, try Indiana bourbon. So there's, I think, a little more wiggle room with this distillery. They're smaller than the other distilleries that we're talking about. And they have a smaller team, and we would be working directly with their blenders on this barrel pick. You don't really see a lot of barrel craft picks out there now, because it's just it's not their focus. Their focus is blending and creating a very good consistent blend on their different releases. So I think doing something from Barrel Craft would draw a lot of attention, just because, again, you don't see Barrel Craft single barrel picks around these days.
Yeah, you had that. Was it a 9-year, 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
That was just an absolute killer. It was so.
Yeah, they're awesome. I mean, these guys.
Their stocks are just crazy too.
Yeah, the stock
there's
is
so
crazy.
much to try, I'm sure,
because they're getting barrels from all over the place, and again, most of their stuff goes into blends or some type of finish. So they're tasting these barrels one by one, and when they find a good one, they're setting it aside, and it's a really good one. And again, their price point went down, so they're just under the $10 a year mark now on their barrel proof single barrels, which I think is a really awesome price point to be at.
Not that we would do this, but you also have that near hazmat rum pick that's like
Oh, that's
absolutely
phenomenal.
out of this world.
Mm-hmm.
And like, but I mean, it just goes to show like how much like different stuff they have. Like they have so many
Mm-hmm.
different types of barrels. So
Yeah,
um
that's one of. I mean, the downside of barrels is going to be a little bit more expensive if you're a little more on the price conscious side. It was just not crazy compared to what some of the other stuff's going to be. But the opportunities are going to be endless on that side too. There's,
yeah.
like Jay said, there's a lot wider range of where the whiskey could come from. We're not shoehorned into a specific, just coming from the distillery. So
Yeah.
barrel
Something
will
is
be,
going to speak to us
Yeah.
at the Barrel Craft Barrel Pick.
and usually the more you drink, the more things speak to you,
Yes.
or the more
Yeah.
voices you hear. Either
I'm
one or
hoping
the
that
other.
I'm like pour 12, Dan takes the drill and just starts going into
I hate drilling into barrels. It's such a dumb thing. You just create a new fail point. Number 3, this was my vote in there, but I know people are going to vote against me just to spite me, so that's fine.
Well, this if I'm not mistaken, this is the one that people should have known.
People should have known. If you're a longtime listener, you should have known. My favorite distillery I've been to, the best old fashioned I've ever had at a distillery. We have James Pepper decanter barrel pick style, right? Is that,
Yes.
do we know if it comes in a decanter bottle? So
I mean, they might be offering some new things soon. I've kind of heard rumblings of that, but as of now, yes, they're offering decanter style barrel picks.
so fucking badass bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Just the bottle itself is badass. Now, to be fair, my favorite stuff from James Pepper still happened when they were sourcing stuff from other places. So I've never had a straight barrel pick. But we know the decanter bottles sell really well, or pretty well in the store. We know people like having something like that on a bar, and it's something that's near and dear to me. And I like to be boisterous when we have conversations, so that's how James Pepper got on the list.
yeah. Well,
Jake, where's your color commentary?
Yeah, Pepper is, I agree, one of the coolest places to go visit, and like definitely one that's like not on everyone's radar. It's like the history of like James Pepper is super cool. Like he's kind of like the Forrest Gump of Kentucky. Like
It's a good
literally like bumps into like everybody that like ever had anything to do with like the foundations of
late 1800s, early 1900s, as whiskey was growing in America. He was right there. Yeah.
And like, yeah, just super cool story. Super cool distillery. It's in a really awesome area too. So yeah, like it, and like they're making really good stuff. So yeah, I that would also be one that would be very exciting to do.
Gold Eagle, Jake, you're just going to sit there. Do you have anything to say?
No, well, I'll throw out a little teaser that we actually have a James Pepper decanter barrel pick on the way, but it is only half of a barrel. There was we got some samples, and we weren't, we weren't gonna jump on it because I kind of wanted to do that as a Bourbon Matters barrel pick. Because I knew how much Dan loved them, and we had kind of been talking about it. But if you have samples in front of you, you're going to taste them. We tasted them, and there was one sample that we really, really liked. And then apparently another store also really, really liked that sample. So we got the opportunity to just split the barrel. So it's not going to be a full barrel, but the sample was really, really good. So we'll have half a barrel to sell. And I think if that sells through fairly quickly, which I think it will, that'll just give us more ammo and firepower to go and do our own James Pepper barrel pick. And I did hear maybe some rumblings that they're going to have some new opportunities with the decanter barrel pick. Maybe something a little older, just maybe something a little different. So we'll see about that.
If it's older, it's not going to be their juice. I'm not
time is going by.
Oh, that's true. Because God,
Stuff
what was
is
it when we were
aging.
there?
They probably have like 5-year
Oh, they got
bourbons.
more than
It's
5 year.
older than
They
that.
probably
Yeah,
got
they
8 year,
probably
10
yeah. I
year.
would say they're like 8 year and maybe getting up now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think you have to, right? Nowadays, you have to have different things that you're going to offer. And a distillery like that that's laying down a lot and has a lot aging, they're always trying to innovate. I think, who knows? I just have a gut feeling that we're going to start seeing some cooler, different options available. But if you like James Pepper decanter bourbon, which I think it's one of the best, widely available bottles now at that 100 to 105 proof point. You don't find a lot of barrel picks at that proof point because most of them are offered at barrel strength. So I think that could be a really cool option, and especially how much, Dan, you love the distillery and always talk about it.
Yeah. And it's still one of my, it's a really cool place to go to, especially if you know the history of it, because where the distillery where the distillery is now is just on a portion of the grounds of where the whole distillery used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really cool. So I mean, they got like a shopping center and stuff built up, but like where the employee break room is, there's a bar now there called the Break Room. Um, there's the Barrel House has a thing called the Barrel House, and I think that's a restaurant. So it's like parts of the old distillery that are no longer needed for distilling. They've just kept the name of whatever that was back in the day, and they've just made a new facility there of something. So uh, there's that one. So right now we have Green River, Barrel Craft, James Pepper, or the final one, which will have stipulations on it, is Maker's Mark. Now, the reason we're going to put Jake, I'll let you explain that, and then we can kind of talk about if people are interested in this, kind of how it would work.
Yeah, I mean, Maker's Mark is, to me, by far the coolest experience in doing a barrel pick because it is a full on 5 hour long hands on experience of creating your own blend of Maker's Mark. Um, there's, most distilleries, even a lot of the big ones, you'll get there, you'll do a tour, you'll taste 3 or 4 barrels, you'll pick your favorite, and that's the barrel you go home with. Maker's Mark, you're taking 5 different whiskeys and you're able to completely make your own blend. There's 1,001 different combinations that you can come up with. So this is truly a hands-on experience. Not only is the pick itself a ton of fun, but they do it right. They'll provide transportation to and from the distillery. They will cook for you in their restaurant at the distillery, which is most of the time not open to the public. They'll take you out to dinner after. So it is a full day of blending, tasting, behind the scenes stuff at Maker's Mark. And we did talk about a stipulation. This is one where we could have a group of 8 to 10 people. So we would be inviting some of our listeners to partake. And I think that would be extremely cool to get some of you guys involved. But it is a pretty big commitment on how many bottles we have to bring into the store. So there would be a minimum purchase, and just throwing out a number like 2 cases per person, who, if you get to come with us on this experience.
So if we wanted to do, if Makers wins, we will then probably reach out to people that voted for Makers. We'll get a date nailed down, and then if you were someone
that's going to
advocating,
make Makers win.
Yeah.
I think if Makers wins, then maybe we, put out something to our listeners and say, hey, who realistically would want to go on this trip, and who, how many would you realistically commit to buying 2 cases or more of this barrel pick, because we'd be committing to buying 40 cases And if you're going to partake in a full day blending session and get taken out to dinner and lunch and the whole 9 yards, are you willing to commit to buying a couple cases of this pick that you helped blend and create?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So if it comes to that, we'll pick a date. If people are wanting to do it and we can make that work, we'll make it work. And if we can't make that work, then we'll just fall back to number 2. If Makers wins. But there's 4 really good freaking options out there. Again, it's Green River, Barrel Craft, James Pepper, or Maker's Mark. Maker's Mark has stipulations on it, so Kyle put an asterisk next to that on the little poll. You act like I talked to my friend.
You're just giving him all the instructions in the episode. Like, he's in our text thread.
Guys, he's not overly smart, so like repetition with Kyle is.
But yeah, I mean, all 4 of these options are like,
solid.
I think distilleries that we really would be excited to work with. So, yeah, I would be thrilled with any of these 4. I think you guys would as well.
Yeah, we didn't put Bardstown or Heaven Hill in here, so I don't care who wins.
It's okay. Jake will take me to a Heaven Hill Elijah Craig pick one time.
Yeah, we'll go down
my life. My life will be complete, and then I can just move on.
Yeah, who cares about your kids at that point, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this episode comes out Sunday, May 3rd. We will have voting end Sunday, May 31st. If at that point, and again, feel free if there's someone that you think we should look into that we're not putting on here. We had a pretty good discussion. One, it's got to be something that's possible for us to do with Jake's connections. 2, we want to make sure that it's not only liked by us, but liked by the masses so that we don't stick Jake with a whole bunch of whiskey that people don't want.
Yeah.
So we thought through this list pretty carefully. If you have other options, though, feel free to let us know. We will vote on this the entire month of May, ending Sunday, May 31st. That means May 7th, we will let everyone know or June 7th, we'll let everyone know who the winner is. If it's Green River, Barrel, or Pepper, we'll get a time plan for that. If it's Makers, we'll have more work to do on our end. Maybe I'll make Jake R do some work finally. But we'll have that as well. But let us know. We'll have polls up throughout the month. We'll have questionnaire things come up, but we will be doing another barrel pick sometime later this year, late summer, fall, winter, who knows? We don't have an exact date planned yet. But I think we have some really good options for another phenomenal barrel pick. And again, even if you don't live around Gold Eagle, still feel free to vote because Gold Eagle ships to 40 states in the nation.
We ship.
Jake, if you want to find some of your other barrel picks, if people are interested in trying some other Gold Eagle barrel picks, where can people do that at?
You can do so at goldeaglewine.com. If you are local, come visit us in Libertyville at 255 Peterson Road. Either way, make sure you follow us on Instagram at Gold Eagle Wine. Follow us on Facebook at Gold Eagle Spirits to see our daily drops and what's new. We've got a lot of really, really, really good barrel picks on the way, and I'm talking really, really good that will be posted first come, first serve. Some brands that are very sought after and stuff we've been trying to get for a long while. So make sure you pay attention. Throwing it back to you guys at Bourbon Matters.
Awesome. Jake, if people want to be able to take part in this poll, that'll be happening on our socials. If they want to give us comments, feedback, where can they do that at?
Yeah, you can DM us or find our posts on Facebook and Instagram at Bourbon Matters. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple, or Google Podcasts, or pretty much any other podcast platform. You can watch us on Spotify and YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. If you're a YouTube watcher, you can also leave your comments there, and I will get back to you on those.
And I got to check to see if you did that QR code thing that I said to do.
I did do it twice. I even put it in at the end when I said I wasn't going to. So
we'll test that theory out here as soon as we're done recording. So, all right. So I am excited to do another barrel pick. I'm always excited to drink whiskey with friends and go down to Kentucky. So it just gives me another excuse to do those things. All right, guys. Well, I'm excited to see the results as they come in through this month. We will keep everyone updated. We'll probably the next few weeks, we'll give some updates of where stuff's at as well, too. So cheers, guys.
Cheers.